to be a problem if you lose. He's like, I haven't even thought about that because I am going to win. To then getting a 4th place finish by whatever, calling it brain fog. I picked the wrong gate. And I do think that his starting blocks are way too effing big. I think he will get whole shots if he goes back down to smaller ones. But this is so psychological. This is so important for his establishing dominance in the 250 class. Yes, do I think that this was a racing incident? No, I do not. If I was Max, I'd be pissed, right? But you also know that Bobby Regan and the Star Yamaha folks, they're probably like, hey, Deegan is the cash cow. He's the guy that, hey, Max, if you don't like it, do something about it. And this is where I'm saying is Deegan went in there with clear intentions to do just that. He pushed him in the heat race. He pushed him 2 or 3 times before he made that move. He went back onto him, not so that he couldn't cut down. Yes, I do think that's part of it, is he moved to push him over because he was way on the inside to then move to the outside to block him so that he couldn't cut back down and pass him. He was trying to go, hey, you know what? I got your number. Did he need to do that? No, he was clearly faster. I will break it down in this week's video, and I will tell you exactly why and where he was faster. He did not have to do that. But if you think about this, and this is the part that I have to respect Deegan for, is because the strategy is clear, is he is establishing dominance in the 250 class. He is pushing these guys around, and from the heat race, you have a 32-year-old grown man that checks up on a 20-year-old, right? And he just rides away. That's what he's doing. That's what he's doing to Levi. If you saw the little tidbits of like, hey, we all got to get along. And truthfully, the podium was boring. It was so boring to watch McAdoo and even Mosman. I'm pumped for Mosman. I like Mosman. I'm glad that he's got some forward momentum finishing 3rd. But it's all this just like, hey, things are moving forward. It's just the same spiel. But Deegan, people were booing him. And you know damn well that the vast majority of fans are in his corner, right? Yes, you have some guys that are being explicit by booing, but I love it. It gives the narrative. It creates this emotion. It gets you tied to the racing. That's exactly what we need. And yeah, love him or hate him for it, he is doing what he needs to do. And this is the turning point in the 250 class. Mark my words, if Levi and Max don't step the F up for the next race, it's over. It is sealed, signed, over. Complete dominance in the 250 class, because that is what he's doing. That's what he's doing psychologically to these guys. Yes, he's the fastest guy, but he's also breaking them down mentally. That's what these moves were. It doesn't matter if he gets a penalty, right? You could call it kind of aggressive riding, and I have my own thoughts on this whole license point system, where you would think that if you have only 10 points, like it's kind of, if what I think of license points, I think of license on a vehicle where you only have a certain number and you're pissed because you get fined and you lose 3 and your insurance goes up. And if you miss too many of them, you have no more license. Apparently in Supercross, if you get to 15, then you just get a talking to, and then it goes back to 5. And I don't know. It's just ridiculous. Like I won't even digress on that whole thing. I will deep dive into a different time. But when you are going to say license points and there's really no repercussion, it doesn't really mean anything. It's a big deal if you only had 10 points and Deegan lost 1, and that's for like his entire career or the like next 5 years, and he's not able to race. That is a big deal. But here, let's just hypothetically, Hopper's hypotheticals. He gets fined. He gets fined for rough riding. Big whoop, right? He won the race, got the big 6-figure bonus, and then 2, freaking got inside everybody's head. And arguably the only guy that can beat him on paper is Max. The guy is strategically a good enough rider to get starts, to make sure that he's methodical about his lines, to haul ass through the whoops. Deegan did not need to do that to win the race. He needed to do that to win the title. That is the difference. And so the call to action from the riders are not to take Deegan out, but to play his game, or you've lost. Just fall for second. Just be okay with second. That's what is happening. Okay. You not only have to ride with Deegan, but you also have to race with him in your head. That's the thing that people have a hard time. That's the reason why I think his only chance of beating Jet. No, okay. People are going to clip that. Only chance. No, his best chance. There we go. Better words. Best chance to beat Jet is to get into his head, to play those small little tactics. Because you know what he did in the heat race? He set the foundation for what happened in the main event. He didn't touch him, but he came in real hot, made him check up, made him slow down, go like, whoa, this guy's out to, he's possibly going to be the Conor McGregor, the psycho, the just in the eyes, and you don't know what he's going to do, so you don't want to mess with that guy. That is the number he is playing, regardless of his stupid TikToks or whatever. That's what he brings on the table. Levi and Max, they have to stoop to his level. Just going to stay that. They've got to play that game or they're going to finish second. That is it. We're moving on to the 450s, and 450s, dude, talking with some of my friends, he put it so much as like we were talking, listening to Lee Duffy and then our Diffie and RC, and he was saying that, oh, don't count out Sexton. He's coming through the pack. And then my buddy was like, no, I'd count out Sexton if he got the whole shot because he'd brain fart it. Sexton is so much better. When he brain farts, does some stupid mistake, he tucks the front end from the get-go. I don't remember what Supercross it was that he came from last to, I think, winning it. And then also Hangtown a couple years ago where he comes last out of 40 and ends up winning the Moto. His best riding is when he is unleashed like that. Granted, I think he gassed out because he got up to about like 4th place and then the wheels just fell out, no pun intended, but it just fell out from underneath him. That is Sexton's downfall. It has always been his downfall. Where's the mental coach for Sexton? And he needs to come out and say it and needs I remember guys talking about being hypnotized for races. He needs to get hypnotized to get over this little hurdle. And I don't understand how, I think David Villeman posted a post where he was like, hey, they changed the forks, they changed the shock, they changed the triple clamps. And he was like, what are you doing over at Kawasaki? Because of, he was a half a second faster at A1. Yes. Did I think he was going to win A1? I did. Yes. Kill me in the comments. And while you're down there, hit the subscribe button. It helps the algorithm out. And then 2, did I think he was going to win San Diego? Unfortunately, I did because he's good enough. He's fast enough. I think he's the fastest guy on the track, but he can't freaking get out of his own way. Whatever it is, he needs to get hypnotized to make it happen. Changing the motorcycle is not going to do it. Just ride the bike and just run the dog piss out of it. We know you're good enough. Don't change something that's already working. How he crashed in A1 was not a bike deal. It was him over jumping a dumb jump and landing on the bottom face of the most vertical 90-degree tabletop that Supercross can build. And it's built of metal foundation. It's not dirt. It's not going to give. No wonder you crashed. It had nothing to do with forks, shock, triple clamps, tire pressure, whatever it is. And I know Chase is notorious for being hard to work with because he's changing everything. He needs to just race the motorcycle and confidence in himself, and we will see a championship contender. Yeah, he took out Cooper Webb. Did he mean to? No, but did it help? Yes, because he lost the championship to that SOB with 3 points because he did something stupid at Glendale where he was clearly faster and he didn't want to just take a second. He said he wanted to win. Instead, he goes up and tries to take out Cooper and then crashes and then falls to 3rd from winning. It was awful. He's doing it again. He's sabotaging himself. Okay. Tomac. Let's talk about Tomac. Dude is 33 years old. I'm so happy with I want to call it the daddy daycare, the vet riders. They're out there just rolling, just cashing in the dough. These guys are on point, man. Kenny and Tomac are just, it's fun to watch. And Tomac, this is the difference. Tomac, gets out front, gets around Hunter, gets around Kenny, and is like, all right, cool. Kenny does the best thing he possibly could is he slides underneath Tomac right away. Those guys race each other so clean. They've been doing it for a couple years in World Supercross. They respect each other. That's the thing. And he gets back around him through the whoops. What does Tomac do? He doesn't flip out and go, oh God, whiskey throttle off the track. No, he's methodical about it. He's like, I'm going to wear him out. I know Kenny, sometimes the later part of the race, the last 3 to 4 laps, has a difficult time to keep up the pace. And they were moving. They were all moving. They were throwing times down. I mean, ironically, Sexton was still catching all of them, which is astronomical because he just had a chip off his shoulder and rides the best when, he starts from last. Just start backwards, Sexton. But back to Tomac. Tomac was smart. He was methodical. The best investment KTM ever could have done is give this guy a shit ton of money, hopefully because of the new injection of funds from the Peer Mobility Group with selling most of their assets to, I forget, is it BMW, whatever. But they're able to pay him. Great, right? He just sits there behind Kenny and then waits to attack the last couple laps and wins the race. Kenny gets tired. Then you have Hunter come through the pack, which after my interview with Hunter, I am so stoked for Hunter. I know he can win after watching him at Motocross of Nations and the last Super Motocross. He's fast and he proved it. He probably should have won that race if he didn't respect Tomac so much, because he could have come in and he could have Deeganated Tomac and taken him, I wouldn't say take him out, but push him wide to pass him. But no, he respects him. And a second place is a win for Hunter and the HRC Honda crew. A absolute win for those guys. This is establishing confidence, and that's what he needs. He needs to know that he can run the pace and be there for 20, 23 laps, and he is good. He is good. And he's one of those guys that's just like Kenny, where they just hit their lines lap after lap, and they can go good. Kenny, I believe that is the best looking motorcycle in the entire paddock. Ironically, it's a Suzuki. Yes, it's yellow, but black and yellow just has me thinking the Black and Yellow song. And not to mention the just sheer black gear. I would have gone with more black boots, but the red boots work. But anyway, that bike was so impressive. It is working well, right? And I want to talk about the Lego. Malcolm Stewart, the Lego. The dude is glued together out there. How is he still out there with ribs popping out and a fractured scapula, and he's just hammering through the whoops and ends up getting around and finishing ahead of Prado? Like, this is not good for Prado. Great for the heat race. Great for getting out front on the start. But then when you have some guy that starts last like Sexton and pass you in the main event, it's not a good look. Not a good look. So Prado, yeah, he had an opportunity and didn't work so well. So he needs to just forget about this. Forget about it. Just have it just go through one ear out the other. And then, come back for round 3. Is it A2? Is I think what it is? Yeah, A2. But he's still good. He's still fast. The main event was not good. Was not fast. Was a bummer. As a Prado fan, was a bummer. Yeah. Yeah. Now it's all kind of flip-flop between Kawasaki and KTM. What's better? But we know by Tomac, it looks like the orange motorcycle is better. And I still can't believe that Kawasaki let a guy like Jason Anderson go. To me, that just baffles me, because Jason is a fast guy. He can put it together when he needs to. He's good with pressure. He establishes himself on the track with his presence. Yeah, I would have liked to see him on the Cowie, be teammates with Sexton. Would have loved for that. But I heard that there's just some restructuring, so much money going to Sexton. And, that's all I got to say. So make sure that you guys stay put, okay? And on Monday, yes, Monday, right? I believe it's 10 a.m. Eastern time. David Bailey, the king, the legend, the best, my favorite announcer, is going to join us on the MX Unfiltered podcast. So make sure you look out for that. And I'm going to ask him all the same questions that I'm telling you right now. And we get to hear it from the legend, David Bailey. So make sure you guys stay tuned for that. And this is Johnny Hopper. And I'm saying, you guys keep it WFO, elbow down, and have a good weekend. Bra-da-da-da-da-da.